Glory to Yahuwah. So, I am at my resting place where the Most High got me for the moment. And I was just thinking about some things. Um, so, like, it is just me right now. I am across the country. I was born in California, and I am across the country. Not gonna say exactly where I'm at, but um, yeah, just getting my thoughts and things together. Coming out of a lot of coming out of a lot of shock from my life that I kind of realized at a point that I was in as I started coming out of it, but was in a lot of confusion. And today, the Most High was just opened up my mind kind of as I was doing my budget, because I was going over the things that were kind of like important to me, trying to figure out what's going on with my life, why things keep, still kind of going the way that they're going. Of course, as a child, it wasn't my fault, but now at 29 years old, I've been trying for a while to get, the handle on things. And so, kind of what the Most High has been bringing me to, because, like, um, I am married. My husband wants a divorce. He's not talking to me, hasn't been talking to me really for the last 5, going on 6 years. But he wants a divorce. I'm leaving that in the Most High's hands. And it, this video is for, like a lot of the videos, getting clarity. He has our children right now, and I'm hoping that he's being a good father. There was a lot of abuse in our relationship, but he did not have a good upbringing as a child either. But I got a lot of hope. I see a lot of guys saying, like, they take care of their children even though they abuse their wives and stuff. Now that probably sounds crazy because they were angry at their wives because of the abuse that they went through from a child. And that sounds a lot like my husband's situation. And I don't know completely. I know a little bit of things that I pieced together from things that he told me. But I'm realizing, like, since me and my husband separated, like, I could not deal with the fact that I didn't want to be with my husband. We had only got together because I was being sexually harassed by my aunt's boyfriend for a while, and he had gave me a time limit. And if you watch some other videos, you'll see I did talk about that experience, but that's how I ended up getting with my husband. And so, it wasn't my plan to have kids at the time that I had kids. I was, focusing on my future, what I wanted to do with my future. And so I was a little bitter about that without realizing it, because I was just trying to, make the best out of the situation that I ended up in, and, just trying to be happy and not complain, because, the adults around me, oh, nothing's wrong with you, you're just complaining and this and that, when literally I'm being sexually abused and all kind of things like that. But your environment does shape, your mindset. And so I was just trying to make the best out of the situation. I didn't really want to be with my husband, and I guess that showed, even though I was very in denial about it. I was very, like, I didn't get to pick the person I wanted to be with. I wasn't ready to have kids. But I'm very glad, I'm very glad that I have my children. Like, I'm very glad, like, blessings come in disguise. And, it was definitely a blessing having my children. I do not regret having my children. And so that's something I was grasping today when it was just for a while, I had both of my kids, but my son was 4, because we separated when my son was 2. Um, my husband left being funny, talking about he was going to get some clothes and never came back. Like he did that on purpose. And then told me he was going to make me suffer and a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know because I wasn't in on the plan, you know? But a lot of things did come into the light since then. But so I had my son for a while until I let him go back and live with his dad when he was 4. My daughter wanted to stay with me. My son said that I couldn't teach him how to be a man, and he was right. And he was starting to regress. And there was a time where both me and him were crying, but I was starting to get better, and everything, I would try to always cheer him up, and he was like, well, if only daddy was here. He wanted both his parents to be together. And so I told him that I was not going back with his dad, but, I did let him have to choose. And he was regressing. So I asked my child what he wanted, and that the option was not that mommy and daddy were going to go back together, because it was a very abusive relationship and I'm not going back into that. And so he did choose to go with his dad. And then they would not allow me to see him anymore after that. I did make attempts, and I was assaulted by the whole church. Well, half the church. But my daughter recently was placed with my husband because of the last apartment that I was in. I was evicted, and I did not agree with the eviction, and the police broke in and assaulted me and my child and arrested me, and saw me like physically, like not sexually, but like hit me, all that stuff. But my daughter and my son are both with their dad now. And before, I was not paying child support because I had one child. He had one child, but he did put me on child support. I didn't want to pay because first off, I told that I was being sexually assaulted. Nobody believed me. I was told I was a bad teen and sent back into the house with the abuser by CPS and the police. So I was very bitter about the situation I was in life. I didn't feel that I should have to pay child support. I had one child, my husband had one child, and he was doing it just to be petty. But he now has both children, so I have no problem, supporting my children. Came to that conclusion today and didn't realize, that it was bothering me. And it's not my children. It's the situation of how they came about. I have great children, very, 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 very wonderful children. The only thing is the situation of how it came about. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for a lot of things, but I've been taking care of my responsibilities, and I'm going to continue to take care of my responsibilities. Y'all give me the chance and opportunity and the funds and everything to do so, and I'll be willing to be able to be in their lives in person, because my husband is not allowing me to see them for whatever reason. I don't know. Just some of the things that have been going through my mind today. and making sense of, like, you know, he has both of my children, our children. So yeah, it makes sense for me to, you know, contribute to taking care of my children. And I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.